Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. EdBhoomi, Ground for Education. In part 1, we tackled the big question, what is plagiarism? We explored why it's such a serious issue and the potential consequences it can have on your academic career and reputation. Let's face it, accidentally plagiarizing someone's work is a nightmare scenario, and it can be quite easy to fall into the trap if you are not careful. Today, in part 2, we are taking a deep dive into the world of avoiding plagiarism. We'll be going beyond the basics and equipping you with the advanced strategies to ensure your work is always original and ethically sound. We'll also analyze real-world examples to solidify your understanding. By the end of this video, you will be able to master and become an expert at ethical research and writing, ready to navigate the academic landscape with confidence. So let's begin. Okay, so we know copying someone else's work word for word is a big no-no, but plagiarism can also be more subtle than that. Let's explore some of the different ways it can manifest. Starting with direct plagiarism. This is the most obvious one. Copying text directly from a source without attribution is a clear violation of academic integrity. Then comes self-plagiarism. Reusing significant portions of your own previous work without proper citation can also be considered as plagiarism. Yes. Remember, even your own ideas need to be properly referenced if you're using them in a new context. Then comes mosaic plagiarism. Imagine creating a patchwork quilt from different sources, stitching together phrases and sentences without quotation marks or citations. This might seem clever, but it's still plagiarism. And finally, we have accidental plagiarism. This happens when you unintentionally fail to cite your sources correctly. Even if you're not trying to deceive anyone or cheat anyone, it's crucial to give credit where credit is due. The key takeaway here is that regardless of the type, plagiarism involves using someone else's ideas or work without proper acknowledgement. Now, here comes a pro tip for you. How to use plagiarism detection tools. While not a foolproof solution, plagiarism detection tools can be a helpful initial check for your work. These tools scan your work against a vast database of sources and highlight potential areas of concern. However, remember, these tools aren't perfect and shouldn't be your sole defense against plagiarism. A strong understanding of proper citation and ethical research practices is still essential. Moving on, we come to the techniques to avoid plagiarism. The good stuff here is strategies to ensure work is always squeaky clean. The key techniques are, number 1 being effective paraphrasing. This is a skill worth mastering. It involves reading and understanding the source material, then rephrasing it in your own words while still conveying the original meaning. It's more than just replacing a few synonyms. Moving on, we really need to learn and understand the proper citation methods. There are various different types of citation styles that we can use and are approved by the academic bodies like APA, MLA, and Chicago, being a few of them. Each one has specific guidelines for citing various types of sources, from books and articles to website and even social media posts. Make sure you choose the right style for your field and use it consistently throughout your work. Here's a bonus tip for you. Many universities and online resources offer style guides and citation generators to help you format your references and manage citations easily and correctly. Ethical research is the foundation of strong academic writing, and here's how you can cultivate these good habits, including ethical research. Number 1 being effective note-taking. As you gather information and you absorb information, develop a clear note-taking system that distinguishes your own ideas from those you're referencing. Include source information alongside your notes to avoid confusion later. Understanding versus copying. Don't just copy information from sources verbatim. Engage with the material, analyze it, and develop your own understanding. Then integrate that understanding into your work using your own words. And finally, quoting responsibly. Use direct quotes sparingly for specific points or impactful phrases or definitions. Always format them correctly according to your chosen citation style and enclose them in quotation marks. Remember, quoting is not a substitute for your own analysis and critical thinking. Now, remember, whenever you are in doubt, always cite. Paraphrase the key points, read the source, understand the connection between social media and anxiety, and then rephrase it in your own words, highlighting the main findings. Quote a specific statistic. If the source presents is a compelling statistic on social media usage and anxiety rates, you can directly quote that statistic with proper quotation marks and the citation. So this example of social media and anxiety was given to you so that you can easily understand how to cite practically. Moving on to the conclusion, by now you're well on your way to becoming a plagiarism pro. Here's a quick recap of the key takeaways. Understand the different types of plagiarism, both intentional and accidental. It is not always necessary that you do plagiarism that is intentional. It can always be because of a mistake or of an article that was not properly cited. Master the art of paraphrasing to convey source information in your own words, so that even though you are learning and being motivated from other works of art, you can always mold it into your own work. Adopt proper citation practices based on the chosen style guide. It is a best practice whenever you're partaking in academic content writing. Conduct ethical research by taking clear notes, engaging with the sources, and using quotes responsibly. Following these strategies will ensure your research papers are not only original but also demonstrate the depth and credibility of your work. So what are your thoughts on plagiarism? Have you ever faced challenges in properly citing sources? Share your experiences, and if you have any tips that you have found helpful, mention them in the comment section below. If you find any comment or any experience that we can help with, we'll definitely reply to that particular comment. Thanks for joining us for the part 2 of our plagiarism series, which was a 2-part series. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel for more content on academic writing and research skills. We have exciting things coming up on the horizon next, so stay tuned and subscribe the channel.